I remember the story when I almost quit becoming an entrepreneur. I almost quit all my goals, all my dreams. So that night, I go to this appointment, and I was expecting to close this appointment. And I met with a client. That was a big sale that I wanted to meet, that I wanted to get. And this sale was gonna help me to pay my rent. This sale was gonna help me to eat for the next couple of weeks. And I went to this appointment, and the client said, no, I want to think about it. And I remember devastated. That day I was devastated. I get into my car, and I was so tense, I was so stressful. And I get home, and this is when the things get a little bit crazy. I get home, and I found Ceci, my wife, in the kitchen table with all the bills. The bills, the apartment, the phone, every single bill, she had it over there in the kitchen table. And Ceci looked at me, and she says, what happened? Did you close? I said, I didn't close. And I see her like, she started crying. I see her in the kitchen table with all the bills that we had. She starts crying. And I remember that day we had a big fight. Rodolfo, what are you doing? You're crazy. And I start doubting myself. Maybe I'm not supposed to be an entrepreneur. Maybe I'm not supposed to win. Maybe that was a sign that I'm not supposed to be doing what I'm doing. And we start fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting. That night, I quit. That night, I decided, you know what, this is not for me. I give up. You know what, next morning, I'm gonna go to the mall, and I'm gonna ask for a job at the mall. Whatever it is whatever they're finding, whatever they're I'm gonna go back to the mall, and I'm gonna ask for a job. That night, we spoke with Ceci. After the fight, I spoke with her, and we said, you know what, let's pray on it, let's sleep on it, and next morning, we decide what we want to do. We woke up next morning, and we said, you know what, I was about to get ready. I was about ready to go and ask for a job, and Ceci looked at me, and Ceci said, I believe in you. I believe you can become an entrepreneur. You know what, go back to this client, go back to the trenches, go back to work. You can go win. And that day I decided to go back. I almost quit. I was like this to quit. I was like this to quit with all my dreams and all my goals. That night, I almost quit. I almost give up. Don't give up. But let me tell you what happened. That week, I came back to hustle. Obviously, the same day didn't happen. The next day didn't happen. By the end of that week, I closed one of the biggest sales I ever made in my life. I was able to pay my apartment. I was able to pay for everything. And I was like this to close. Now, I remember that story because you might be going through the same stuff. But let me tell you, you need to go back. You need to go back to fight. You need to go back to train. You need to go back to the saddle. You need to be back. Don't give up. You're like this to either quit, or you're like this to win. Go win.